I'm going to talk about one of the cheapest lens that you can buy today, which is the Canon FD 50 millimeters f3.5 SSC macro. This is not a true macro, it's actually 1 to 2. During the late 70s, most brand has like this 50 millimeters macro, which is 3.5 usually. I mean, there's a Pentax that's like a 50 millimeters f4, but usually it's 3.5. And they pair it with like a with extension to make it like two macro 1-to-1. This one I got it on eBay for around like $35 plus the shipping. This is one of the best lenses you can buy for around like less than $50. I mean, you can get it for like $30 to $50. But you shouldn't pay more than 50. There's plenty of lenses around this price, and if you can find one, you can just go for like maybe another brand. You also have to buy an adapter to be able to use it on modern cameras. They also cost like nothing. I mean, at least the Chinese, the cheap ones that you can get. This one is like 4,000. This one costs like, I don't know, maybe like $10. They're making metal, so it's quite nice. They just very basic adapter. This is for micro photos. You can adapt this on anything. Even like DSLRs. The one I have has low contrast. I'm not sure it's because it has like a tiny bit of like haze or fungus and like the border of the lens, but it's like a tiny spot. I'm not sure that affect the contrast. It might be. My copy has low contrast. I have been looking for pictures, but I'm not sure people edit the pictures and the Flickr, so let me just add a little bit of contrast. It's nothing that it can be solved with just like a adjustment curve, and you just add a little bit of black. I use this one mostly for like toy photography or like for like my B-rolls of like videos like this. It's like a pretty good times for that kind of things. Also for like video, it looks quite nice. The image is like soft. It has a vintage look. The autofocus area looks pretty nice, despite that it's just 3.5. You would think that it doesn't look that nice, but it looks quite nice, especially if you focus like things that are like quite close. Focus through this thing is like super long. It's almost the full cycle. It's like on like 330 degrees, something like that. It takes forever to rotate, but realistically you almost never will be using like the close-up macro and then like suddenly want to use the infinitive or the 15 the 3 meters, right? Most of the time when you use the focus on infinitive, it's pretty simple. It has the markers 1.5 3 meters and then infinitive. You can just it's pretty easy to like focus at like medium and long distance with this lens, and at close focus distance, the minimum focus distance is like 23 centimeters. I mean 23.2. It's you can get quite close, not super close like some of the like the cons of the lens. Okay, there's few cons. The first one is the lens is a bit hard because it's a f3.5. I'm not sure if you know about this, but for macro lenses, there's something called effective aperture. You have to do like some math and multiply the aperture for 1 plus the magnification of the lens, which is in this one is like 2:1, which will be 0.5. So is you multiply 3.5 for 1 plus 0.5, which is 1.5. You get the aperture of 5.25, I think. I mean, it's not like super intuitive, but I think it's like f5.25. Just treat it like if it's like a f5.6. So it's a bit dark compared to like a normal less like a normal zoom lens with like less magnification. this one looks much more darker. So you're gonna need to use a brush if you're gonna shoot things like insects and stuff like that. I use this flash, which is the cheapest flash I couldn't find is Meke. Um, this cost me like $30. I got it super cheap. I mostly use this for like a slate flash. I mean, as a trigger to other like a other slate flash. But you can use something cheap like this, and it's gonna be like with some kind of diffuser. And it's gonna be because when you are so close, because the insects are so small, so the light source will be pretty big and soft. You just need to put like some sort of like a diffuser paper or something to make it a little bit softer. But you can use something like this for like shooting like flowers or like insects. But they will look kind of small, the frame, unless the insect is like a huge spider or something. You're gonna have to crop. Another con of this thing is that the aperture is really loose. It's like clicking aperture, but it's like loose. You can hear the I don't like the sound it makes when you close and open the blade. Doesn't it feels like maybe it's a little bit dry, or I don't know. I don't like the sound it makes that much. It's very loose. If we like occasionally just move accidentally, so I'm using the lens. It will look super dark. I don't know why it's so dark. Just look, and it's like f5.6 or f8 instead of 3.5. Another con is I mean, this thing doesn't have any stabilization. Obviously, it's a lens for like this like 40 years old. It doesn't have any stabilization, so you're gonna have to use like a camera with stabilization if you want to do like handheld video with this thing, or with any other like vintage lens, film era lens. You would need a stabilization. I mean, the lens is quite heavy for this size. I mean, it's like made of metal, and the adapter also adds a little bit of extra weight. So the weight kind of helps to stabilize a little bit, but just you're gonna shake. I think that's all the cons I can think about this lens. I mean, you can really go wrong. You can get a copy even with like haze or dust, or like even like tiny bit of fungus. The worst case scenario, you waste $35, $40. I mean, the lens will be still usable, to be honest. Most likely it will still be usable. There's really no way to go wrong at this price point. Yeah, so if you just want like a little cheap lens for like trying a little bit of like macro, of like B-roll, of the like products shop, or you just want like a toy and you want something nice to play with, I think this is like a good option. There's really no way to go wrong with at this price point. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I don't think this is gonna get more expensive anytime soon. I mean, it might be eventually because there's a limited amount of them, but it's gonna take like years or decades for this thing to get expensive because of how like 3.5 is unpopular it is, and probably there's many of them out there. So I think that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a nice day. See you next time. Bye.